From Bad Monkey Studios in beautiful Amish country, heard throughout these fabulous United States and around the globe on the World Wide Web, this is The B Team with Cory and Jim. This is The B Team with Cory and Jim. I'm Jim, and setting in for Cory today, we have a guest host. His name is Doug Whitis, a.k.a. Whitey, or the White Man as I've known him. Hi, Doug.
Jim, how you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
What you got here? Tell us about your trip.
Well, when I left yesterday, no, it wasn't that bad. The trip was good. It was good until I hit County Road 22, also known as Crick Bed. Like I said, I had to move a couple trees out of the way, but we got here. So
I told you to bring the big McCullough, as they say out here. Did you run into any buggies? See any buggies?
On 42, I did, yes.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
People think we're joking when we say we're in Amish country out here.
Well, when I Google mapped you and all that, I knew you were in the heart of it all here.
That we are.
Oh, no doubt. And so in your place here, especially, it is definitely of Amish-like.
Yeah. Well, Cory was not fired, in case anybody's wondering. He was taking some much-needed R&R. He's getting some vacation time in with his beautiful wife, Maddie, and their brand-new baby, Cameron. And so we send them our very best. And he'll be back hopefully next week. I'm sure next week. He's got some things scheduled he wants to come in to do, so I know we'll be back with him. Today, I asked Doug to step in. He was kind enough to come in, talk to us a little bit. We're going to call this our 80's show because that's when I first met Doug, is in the 80's. I give him a lot of credit for a lot of things that I know about in comedy and timing. There's nobody ever in my history better at comedy timing. It starts now. You're going to have to fill in parts of my memory because there's a whole lot of barley, hops, and bong resin that it's got to filter through over those years.
Yeah, I don't remember a whole lot of it.
I think we're going back to 82, 83. I was 16-ish in there. Went to work. We both lived in a little town called Galion in Ohio, and I got a job at a furniture store, right?
Yeah.
It's a furniture store, and
they sold furniture.
Yeah, and hired teenagers to move said furniture around.
Expensive furniture.
Yeah, very expensive furniture. They entrusted it to us yahoos for some reason. And I remember, because it was before I got my license, I think, because I remember my mom dropping me off out there.
Yeah. And
the first time you and I really got to know each other and talk is you said, hey, I'm going right past your house. I'll give you a ride home. And then you started giving me a ride home, and it went from there. But I remember the day that I said, yeah, this is my guy, is when you came back to the docks. They were teaching me to do something on the loading docks. And you came back to the docks and you had your head hanging down. I think you even worked up a tear or two. I'm like, what's wrong, Whitey? And you're like, oh man, I lost a friend. and I'm like, oh man, I'm so sorry to hear it. I remember it so well. I'm like, well, who was it? And you're like, I'll show you. I'm like, what? And you said, yeah, come here. And so we went into another part of the warehouse, and I see this old, dried up, dead little mouse that you have hung up with a string, and it looked like he had hanged himself by a rope in the middle of the warehouse.
It was a sad day.
It was. And you said he couldn't take it anymore. And I knew right there, I'm like, yep, this is my guy. And it just, as they say, that the rest is history. Just became that. I already have a brother, but you became that second brother.
Oh yeah.
So.
No, the mouse. I think I was back there cleaning, and you were out with Terry. You remember Terry?
Yes.
You guys were out doing a delivery.
I called him nice ass because every time he drove past a female, that's what he would say, nice ass. Every female, 16 to 65, he didn't care. Nice ass.
I know. I would be driving with him. He would do that. Nice ass. And the one time I was like, that's Jim's mom. That is a nice ass. No.
Didn't you ask my mom to the prom? Didn't you? You did.
I did.
Yeah.
She went. I'll never forget it.
Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. But, working at the furniture company was my first memory of us just having nothing but fun together. And one that filtered through all the memories just a couple nights ago was when you and I decided we were going to be storm chasers. Do you remember that? Yes. I forget what car you had at the time, but you could hear it coming from
I had
two counties away.
That was that black Trans Am.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We decided we were going to be storm chasers.
I mean, most storm chasers did have black Trans Ams, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Well, it's the aerodynamics,
right,
that are involved in the Trans Am. So we picked like just a partly cloudy day. I think there was more sun than cloud to drive around, and
yeah.
I'm not sure the statute of limitations on these sort of things, but I'll just say more than likely we had a couple adult beverages beforehand. Before,
during,
heading out, yeah,
after. That's usually the way it worked, you know.
I think we ended up in a I forget what town, just a little village, maybe Crestline or one of those little towns like that. And we just stopped in the middle of town. We both get out, pointed up into the sky somewhere to the west, I'll say, and just started screaming, "Twister!" Everybody was looking at us. Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh,
that was a lot of fun.
Do you remember making our little trip up to Tiffin to see Bakes?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
see our friend Baker. Yep.
That night, she gave us some directions and a few landmarks along the way to get up there. But she mentioned something about a church. And this was like once we got in town, there'll be a church and you turn. But we were out in the middle. We were on the way up there, and we were out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, just driving. And all of a sudden, there was a church. And we said, "Oh, we were stupid.
Yeah.
There's a church." We had to pull up the side of the road laughing so hard.
Yeah. Just because we saw a church.
Because we saw a church. Oh my God! And then you remember up there at the sorority house, and they wanted us to make a beer run.
Yeah.
And some girl gave us like a third-party check, and she goes, "Don't worry, they'll take it."
Yeah,
and the guy did.
Yeah.
At the drive-through.
Two guys you've never seen before.
Yeah,
come through the drive-through.
Right,
third-party
check asking for 4 cases of beer.
Yeah, here you go. Enjoy.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was a good times.
Good times, yeah. We're laughing. I don't know if any listeners are laughing. They're just like, why am I listening to these two reminisce about their good times?
Buckrow Beach.
Virginia. Oh, my goodness. Woo.
Oh, by the way, I need to get the keys from you to my car.
Yeah.
I need to get that thing moved.
Left it.
The Air Force Base is still calling me. When you go pick up your car?
That you left here.
It's been 30 years ago.
Yeah,
do you remember that?
That's a story. Yeah.
That whole trip was.
Oh man, that was something. That was something.
I was at a low point.
He came there to visit me. I was in the Air Force, and Whitey came to visit me. Just I don't know what the plan was. You were just gonna
I come down to
come to visit.
Come to visit you. Next thing I know, I had a job at Kmart. And we went to Colonial Williamsburg, and I was living in the billeting building.
In the billeting, on base.
On base.
You know,
I mean, they were saluting me.
Yeah.
I walked in.
Yeah, because that thing, it was ridiculous. So it cost like $4 a day or something to stay in this basically a hotel.
Like a hotel.
People waiting on you, hand and foot. A case of beer costs like $2 or something. You get it at the front desk. You got a job at Kmart. Oh, man. That was too much.
And then I just left the car there.
Yep. You came back on a train, right?
Came back on the
Came back to Ohio on a train.
Yeah. Well, everything kept happening with that car. It kept breaking down. And then finally, like the last straw was we went to open the hood and the handle broke off in my hand. It's like I knew it was time to go then.
Well, no, I think the last straw for me was when you were on base and you were looking for something. You were looking for I'm going to say probably one of your Bruce Springsteen tapes because that's all you had in that car.
Right.
And you couldn't find it. And I pulled down the visor on the passenger side. I pulled down the visor and a joint comes rolling down, fell in my lap on an Air Force base. I was like, oh my God, Whitey, what are you doing? And you were like, I don't know. You gave somebody a ride or something, didn't you?
Yes.
Didn't somebody ride there with you?
Yeah.
What was that story?
It was a girl that...
Wait, I'm going to need to read something to you real quick. Sure. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I did. I gave a girl a ride to Richmond, Virginia. She was looking for a ride to go see her boyfriend, and she knew I was coming down to see you. And we started talking. And next thing you know, I gave her a ride halfway there, and she was over there smoking like a chimney.
Yeah, because that is one thing you didn't do. I don't remember you ever doing that.
No,
myself, I don't know.
No,
I don't remember you doing that. So I didn't think it was yours, and I knew you didn't have that car very long.
If it was mine, it would have been on the driver's side visor.
Yeah,
not the
ready to go.
Exactly.
Oh man!
But yeah, I do remember that on base. And then I know, like when you were working all day, and I'd be waiting for you. The day I got myself in some pretty big trouble was when I was out there walking around and trying to get on an airplane, get on the jets.
Yeah. Well, I think not so much you trying to get on them as you were trying to direct them out there. You had those 2 parking cones. You were trying to have them on your hands, trying to direct fighter jets as they were coming in. So, yeah. Not much of a sense of humor, those boys.
No,
at the first fighter wing.
No, that was an experience down there. That was something else.
It really was a lot of fun.
It was good times.
Yeah, for a while.
Yeah. The Williamsburg. Do you remember going there that day? Colonial Williamsburg.
Oh boy, yeah, I do. Yeah, because everybody's in the period costume and stuff. Yeah.
But, everybody was their families, and it was, enjoying it, taking in the history. And here we are, 2 drunks, just taking stupid pictures. And yeah.
Oh, man, I can't stop. I hope this is even slightly entertaining for people listening, but it's entertaining for me. Because it's a lot of fun. I was talking about timing earlier, and I just wanted to tell a story about this. And how one of the first times I recognized your timing as just being impeccable is I was at we were at I forget what restaurant we were at, but they had a salad bar there. I remember that I was going through the line at the salad bar, and I had the salad tongs in my hand. I didn't know you were anywhere around me. And I pick up, and there's a lady across who's telling me something about how wonderful the salad bar looked or something, and I'm agreeing with her as politely as I can. And I grab a whole bunch of salad in these tongs, and you come behind me and hit my elbow just perfectly. Hit my elbow. The salad went all over that lady, all over her. She just looks up at me, And I don't know what she said. I mean, today she would have said something like, are you kidding me? But she said something in the 1980s equivalent language at the time. Yeah. And that was pretty funny. I'm like, wow, that was amazing.
That was the Pizza Hut, the old Pizza Hut.
Okay.
Galion.
Oh, yeah.
And I did. You were getting your salad, and I walked by and just whapped the back of your elbow.
Perfect.
It went flying.
It was perfect. Man, timing.
Well, that was back when that tossed salad meant something else probably, too.
Yeah.
I mean, today I wouldn't even begin to admit that I tossed your salad.
No.
But back then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you were tossing salads left and right back then. Yeah.
Right in front of God and everybody.
It was a buffet for you of tossed salads. Oh, man. Yeah, we're talking about the 80s, talking about me and Whitey back in the 80s. Have you been invited to an 80s themed party thrown by someone who didn't live in the 80s? Have you done any of this? Like somebody like in their 30s now throwing an 80s themed party?
I can't say that I have. I mean, I've dressed and done that, but I don't know if it was by someone necessarily not from that era.
Yeah.
Why, have you?
Yes, I have. And it's so funny when you go because they'll start talking about, oh, we're having an 80s party. And you'll go, and I remember the clothes from the 80s, the girls wearing like those big mock bib overalls or whatever they were called, or you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And the big wide belts and the things like that, and their hair a certain way, usually, real big and 80s.
The 80s hair, yeah.
Yeah, man, I loved it too. Loved it. The big 80s hair and pumps, man. I want that back. The shoes.
Oh yeah.
I want that back. I do.
No. It may happen.
Yeah, it usually does. Yeah, because we're starting to see the 60s again, aren't we?
Yeah.
So
right.
But yeah, I went to this party, and like I said, it was 80s themed. And this kid's like, oh, yeah, we got awesome 80s music we're going to be playing and stuff like that. And you walk in, they're playing Kurt Cobain. They're playing Nirvana. It's on there, Pearl Jam, Guns N' Roses, I'm like, no, man. Where's the Cars? Van Halen, Blondie. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
The soundtrack from my youth, it just wasn't there. Oh, my gosh.
Everything was Springsteen.
Holy smokes. Yeah.
You were kind of like a Wham type
No.
person. Men at work, and weren't you?
Flock of seagulls.
Exactly.
You can see my hair now. What I'm doing there. What I'm doing there now. Little flock of seagulls going. But yeah, that amazes me. That amazes me.
You were a Wham person. You know it.
I was. And we have to take a quick break, believe it or not. It's time for a break. Is that okay with you? Yeah, already. All right, we're into it. We're 20 minutes in, brother.
Oh, well, we'll take a quick one. And while we're doing that, do you mind if I get that electrical cord away from that bale of straw? I'm feeling a little uncomfortable.
We'll be back.
Hi, this is Emma Woods. Check out my book Beast and Savages and listen to the B Team with Cory and Jim.
Hi, everybody. This is Jim from the B Team podcast. When my wife Hannah is searching for that perfect gift for someone special, she looks no further than Gold Canyon. You can find your scent, shop the studio, get your style, and you're out the door. Contact your Gold Canyon consultant at pennyfox.mygc.com. That's pennyfox.mygc.com. pennyfox.mygc.com. Hi, this is Jim from the B Team podcast. You can't open a newspaper, turn on a computer, or stand near a water cooler without hearing about another senseless act of violence in a public place. We're at a time when top law enforcement professionals are telling private citizens to arm themselves and to not only say something if they see something, but to take action if called upon. I've been carrying concealed for many years. I've chosen the tool which best fits me. I've invested in the proper training to make me proficient with that tool, and I've developed the mindset to ensure the safety of me and my family. The B Team is proud to announce our partnership with Hero Holsters. I've met with the owner, Brandon Moore, and have reviewed his line of durable, comfortable, and most importantly, functional holsters. The team at Hero Holsters realize that outside of training, your tool of choice is holstered 99.9% of the time. Needless to say, comfort is paramount. All of their scabbards are 0.08 of an inch thick, so they won't collapse after you've drawn. This means there's no fighting with your clothes when it's time to reholster. They're equipped with spring steel belt clips. These clips are the best in the industry and ensure that once you have the holster on, it stays on. I encourage you to go to their website, learn a little more about Brandon and the great products available at Hero Holsters. HeroHolsters.com. Be a victor, not a victim.
Hey, this is Dusty Ace. Let me tell you something. You ain't listening to B Team with Cory and Jim. I will come to your house, I will take a spoon, and I will scoop out your eyeballs. I swear to God.
And we are back with Doug Whitus, or Whitey, as I call him, sitting in for Cory. Cory's on vacation. We miss him. We're sending out our best to him.
Absolutely.
He's spending some time with Maddie and baby Cameron.
New babies are so much fun, too.
Hopefully. No, I don't remember that part, the fun part.
I don't either. I was just saying that. They're not fun till they're about like 10.
Now, it's been like, now I haven't spoke to the fact yet that this is like the first time you and I have been together.
As fathers.
Like a lot of years. There's been some years go by since we've
Jimmy, it's been
sat.
a lot of years.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it has. And you got to meet my boys today for the first time.
Oh.
That's a crew, isn't it?
3 little Jimmys up there.
Yeah.
I can just imagine.
Yeah. It is. They're a lot of fun.
Payback's going to be hell for you.
They say, having, being an older guy with young kids keeps you young. That's complete bullshit. In case anybody's wondering, I've never been so tired in my life.
You look great.
Well, sure. I've got the strength.
I couldn't tell. When I walked in, I seen 4 boys.
Yeah.
First, it's like, it's got to be the one with the gray hair. That's got to be Jim. Because I hadn't seen you in 25.
It's been forever. About 15 years ago. About 15 years ago, you and I had a couple lunches together. But that was about it. You that was the time you were being the father with the young,
Yeah.
You were being the dad, and you had all that going. I didn't have that started up yet, so you had to get in lunch and right back out. So we didn't even really catch up that much.
You're right. And now, my son, he's going to be 25 in June.
Oh my goodness,
that's crazy.
And he's an attorney, right?
Well, he's a paralegal.
Okay,
but he is schooling. He's going to be taking school, going back to school, I should say. He graduated from Denison University.
Yeah.
And he got a job in D.C. for a big law firm that he did a
internship?
An internship there one summer, yeah. And they basically told him, when you graduate, get a hold of us, because I really liked him and liked the work he did. And he did, and he got hired.
Nice.
And so that's what he's doing. But he is wanting to get back to school and hopefully, be an attorney.
Cool.
So, yeah, he's pretty focused.
Sounds like it. You'd have to be.
Oh, yeah.
In that field. You have to be.
He was a good kid, though. I mean, he got himself in trouble. He was a typical boy, and but you got a lot of good times ahead of you with those 3 upstairs.
Yeah. Well, see, right now the oldest is 9, so I'm still hero, and I still know everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I know the day's coming where I'm just a dumbass.
It's within a couple 3 years.
Yeah. I figured by the time Gray's 12, 13, I won't know anything, and I'm just going to be a big bother.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now they love that I take them to school. They love it because I get to drive them to school right now. I'm on this injury thing I'm doing from my 9 to 5. And so they love that I get to take them to school right now. But I know that'll change up. They'll be wanting me to drop them off a mile away from the school and all that soon. Yeah.
They don't want to be seen.
No, not with the old man. Not with that old guy.
No. I don't want to be seen with you.
See, now you didn't go through any of the deal where you're out with your boy and anybody thought you were his grandpa, right? Did you ever get any of that? Because you were young. You were younger when you were Dad. Did you ever get that? Because I get that. I get that right now to this day, where I'm out and people think that I'm the kids, that I'm their grandfather.
No,
they'll ask right in front of me. They'll say, "You guys enjoying your day out with Grandpa?" And they know now. They know. They just like, yeah. they don't argue. They don't do anything. They know it now because it's happened so many times.
Really?
So many times, yeah.
You don't look like a grandpa.
Yeah. I feel like a grandpa.
Yeah, well, no, I never really had that.
Hey, do you think if I white out, if I just go all white, grow a white beard, perfect Santa Claus, right?
Oh, yeah.
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 That's where I think I'm going to make my millions.
Okay.
Because I'm probably going to be in a wheelchair soon. So I'll be sitting down. I'll already be halfway there. You know what I'm saying?
I'd give it a shot.
Yeah.
You make a good Santa.
Thank you.
You got the good laugh for it, too.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Ho, 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 ho.
There you go.
No, that was cheap. I can't believe you let me get away with that. You trained me better than that.
I didn't want to call you out.
Here's one. I'm going to take you back a little bit. Do you remember us out on one of our midnight drives? And it's wintertime, like it is now. Lots of snow on the ground. Mm-hmm. And we got whatever your car of the week was, we got it stuck in a ditch.
Okay.
Do you remember that at a reservoir?
That was the El Camino.
El Camino.
We got to ride back into town?
Now we got to tell the kids what an El Camino is. I guarantee you there's only a third of the people listening right now know what an El Camino is.
Yeah. You don't. Yeah.
It's half car, half pickup truck.
Yeah.
And you had one of those, and it was an awesome one too.
It was a nice vehicle. It was
Excuse
nice.
me. I got to hit this Pepsi Max real quick.
You know what?
Oh man, that's good. That's smooth. What do you know about the Pepsi Max?
I know it's good.
Now, Cory claims to have done studies, and he's found that it contains as much caffeine as there is allowed by law in a soft drink. Well, he claims it, but then he always goes back on it when I call him on it. He's like, "Oh, I'm not sure," but then he'll claim it.
Well, that might explain your shaking.
Yeah, well...
I thought maybe that was something to do with your back injury, but maybe it's the Pepsi Max. Of course, what you're drinking out of there, I use that for a trash can in my bathroom. That's a big cup right there.
Thank you so much. That actually, sir, is the last one of 3 hospital cups that we had when we went to have our kids. That's the last one. That's the one when we had Lincoln that Hannah had. You know how they give you the cup in the hospital?
Yeah.
That's it. They used to have like measurements and stuff like that. They've long since washed off.
Well, on that cup, it would be like 1 gallon, 2 gallon, 3 gallon.
They used it for medical refuse, I'm sure. It was marked right here on the front. It said Sharps. I was supposed to take that one, right?
That holds a lot of Pepsi Max right there.
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
And I think, seriously, that's what you're shaking from then.
That's probably it.
That or the cold down here.
That's really what?
I mean, I think it's warmer outside.
Well, you got to keep all this multi-million-dollar studio with all this equipment in it and all these banks of computers. You have to keep them cooled down.
Well,
that's why I asked you to put the clean suit on before you came into the room.
Well, this is a nice studio, though.
Thank you.
The studio's nice.
Yeah.
But I think we could have maybe gone out on the porch and it'd just been a little bit warmer. I never knew you could get a wind chill in a basement. But now I know.
And just to let everybody know, I'm going to look on my... Yep, it's 11 degrees right now outside, so...
Are you sure that's not the indoor?
Oh, excuse me. I'm so sorry.
And your rabbit, I think... Is that thing still alive?
Died?
Is that thing still alive?
Don't say that to me. We do have a rabbit down here in the basement with us. I mean, in the studio. Storm is down here.
How'd you come up with a name of Storm for a rabbit?
That's Gray. That's all Gray. That's his.
Really?
Yeah, that's his thing.
Storm.
Yeah. Huh. I have to go back to my story, though.
Go, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Rip the knobs off their iPods or pads or whatever they're listening on. So we're in this El Camino.
Yes.
Battleship Gray.
It was, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Good memory.
we got this thing stuck. And I don't know, did we make a phone call or did a sheriff's deputy happen upon us?
No, we saw a car coming. We thought, oh, good.
Yeah, we saw headlights.
Until we saw headlights.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah.
And then, yeah, it was a deputy sheriff.
Did you hear that creaky door open? He pulled right up there.
And then you could just, the door opened, you just saw 2 feet out underneath the door.
Yep. And you just heard, y'all all right? Like, yes, sir. As you can just hear, ting, ting, ting.
I know,
the
right?
cans. I'm trying to scoop cans out of my side of the car while you're talking to him.
Yeah, that was our best move. Let me talk to him.
Yeah.
Hi.
But he was a super nice guy.
Oh, he was. And you know he was at the end of his shift because he did not want to start any paperwork.
Nope. There was, yep.
And
it didn't matter what we did.
But he, the nice guy gave us a ride.
Yeah, into town.
Took us into town. I was in the front seat. He even let me sit up front with him. And I'm over there hitting all the whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
What's this button?
I remember you asking him stuff, trying to make him. You were making him laugh.
I got a shotgun like this.
Yeah. This is just like mine. Yeah.
Oh, and I was messing around. Get that gun out of your mouth. Remember he said that?
Yeah. But he was nice.
He was.
And he did let you mess around with a few buttons up there, but he gave us a ride into town, and then
he was just shaking his head.
Now, we promised somebody
yes,
like a case of beer.
And we still owe on that, I believe. If I remember right, we never made good on that.
No.
Hope they're not listening.
He came out. It was a guy with like the guy that we knew with the biggest 4-wheel drive.
Oh yeah.
And like 2 or 3 of his buddies came out and pulled that out, and we drove away. Finished our night.
Told them we would meet him later with
we'll
the case of beer.
Yep.
We drank the case of beer.
Yep. That did happen. I wondered if you remembered that story or not.
The nice thing about that El Camino in the winter when it would snow, remember we used that as our cooler.
That's
we
it.
Put beer cans down in that.
Perfect. It was
I hope my mom's not listening to this.
Well, I know my mom's listening. I know for a fact my mom's listening. So we're probably in trouble.
Oh,
because you know her, she's still spry.
Oh yeah,
she's still a spry lady. Yeah,
I know.
Speaking of her, do you remember some of the stories involving her? I remember one in particular with her because she said she would always dread making an announcement when you were at our house. She always dreaded saying that she had to go to the store because she would tell my dad, and she would sneak to the car thinking she was going to get away. And then as soon as she put it in drive,
we were out that back door.
We were in that car, both in the car going to the store with her. And she would read us the riot act the entire way there. Don't you embarrass me? Don't you? And we're like promising, no, because you would tell her, no, I really do. I have to pick up something. Yeah. I have to grab something while I'm there. And of course you didn't. No. And we would wait until she got in an aisle, usually with 2 or 3 people in the aisle. You would go to one end, I'd go to the other. And I remember one time in particular, you said, Jenny, that's my mom's name. You said, Jenny. She didn't want to look, but she said, what, Doug? And you said, they do not have the colored prophylactics that you're looking for. She said, would the plain one's okay?
Her face is so red.
I will never forget it.
One time it was around Christmas time, and we were at the store with her. And at the checkout, I was acting like she was my mom too. We were like,
yeah. Oh, we always did that.
Can we have something other than bologna this year for Christmas? She just put her head down. Can't we please have something else?
Oh my goodness. I'm going to choke to death.
I think your mom loved it though.
I know she did.
Does she remember the stories?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because I told her we were doing this tonight, and she was all excited. She's like, oh man, I wish you guys would come by and all that stuff. Just craziness.
I miss your mom.
Craziness. She's like, she's healthier than I am. She's healthy.
Oh, I mean,
she looks great.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. I haven't seen her in a long time either, since the prom. She looks really good that night.
Oh man. let's see, the 80s. We knew a guy who could literally, no joke, stand on one side of a van and urinate over that van without touching it, without the stream touching the van.
No.
Piss
Right.
onto to the other side of the van.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen anything like that in my life. He was amazing. The amazing Fuji.
The amazing Fuji.
Fuji Yamamoto.
He did that quite a few times at quite a few different locations. We won. We would bet people in the bar.
Yeah, I would imagine. I would have lost because I wouldn't think
people
anybody
like,
could
no
do it.
way. And we'd get a group of people go outside.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, money's exchanging hands.
Yeah.
And Mike's out there creating more damage to himself.
Oh, yeah.
The guy.
He was not good to himself.
Oh, no.
He
That
was
guy,
not
he
good.
wears a diaper today. He can't hold nothing in.
No.
Every gasket is blown. No.
He can't piss over his jeans, let alone a van.
He can't. He can't even hit the toilet standing in front of it anymore. He could pee and hit a second-story window.
See? And people listening, I know they're going, no,
Okay,
there's
now-
no way. I'm telling you, I saw
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I saw him do it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, here's 80s Reds.
Oh, my goodness. Again, Galion, Ohio. Yep.
The back
Reds.
door, the back door on the alley.
Yeah.
He would stand at the door,
Yeah.
launch it across the alley, and hit the second-story window across the building right there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was,
The fire department wanted him really bad. You remember? They were recruiting him heavy.
they were willing to get rid of the Dalmatian for him. They truly were. Oh, man. He was great when you went camping. You know? Smokey Bear loved him because he could put out the force, he could put out the fire, you know?
Yours and 2 campsites away.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And the more he drank,
Oh, my goodness.
oh, my
Yeah.
God.
I remember his sister
Which one?
telling me, Jenny, being really mad and telling me, she's like, Jim, you're the smart one of these guys. I'm telling you right now, Mike is allergic to beer. And he can't be drinking it anymore. And you guys can't be making him get drunk.
That's why he could pee like that. His body was rejecting that alcohol.
She was.
It was just.
She thought I could do something about it. I was the lowest ranking person in the crew, and she thought I could do something about it.
I'm a little confused and hurt that she thought you were the
The
smart one.
smart one, yeah, that's what
Okay, how did you come to that conclusion?
I don't know if anybody watches It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but I was the Charlie Day. I was Charlie in our crew, just to let you know.
Oh, my God. Do you remember, this is back in the 80s, there was that one, old radio tower, or, I'm not sure what it was, right up in Morrow County, not too far down the road here.
Windmill. It was an old windmill.
Old windmill.
Yep.
And we would go out there with someone new out drinking with us. And we would say,
Break them in.
break them in. If you want to drink, you got to climb the top of that thing. They'd be like, well, that ain't that high. They get about halfway up. We start chucking bottles and stones and rocks at them.
Oh, man.
Safety first. It's like, put this hard hat on first.
You know what? Now that I think about it, the last couple job interviews I've had where they've asked me if I have any gang affiliations, you know what? I may have. I may have been in a gang.
You may have been lying a lot, not realizing it.
I don't know. Yeah, I may have been a gang member.
Do you remember the Fuji's bachelor party?
Boy, barely. Something got broken, didn't it?
You and Fuji on the ping pong table. Remember tackling him? That ping pong table was like the coffee table with Chris Farley had. And that's the motivational speaker living in a van down by the river.
No, we got to describe Fuji a little bit at the 1980s Fuji. Big fella. Bigger guy.
Yeah. He's bigger than your average guy.
Yeah. I was not tiny.
No.
I was not tiny.
No.
And I decided it would be a super good idea
Well, yeah.
to dive on the biggest guy in the crew just out of nowhere.
With him not even suspecting
Nope.
or anticipating it, and you you tackled him, and you launched yourselves onto a ping pong table, a full-size, regulation-size ping pong table.
Yep.
That table didn't have a chance.
It didn't.
That thing was on the floor.
It did.
And it belonged to,
like Lions Club,
Lion,
because his dad didn't. His dad
the JCs. It was the JCs.
Yeah, his dad ended up having to pay for. I heard years later. Somebody told me.
His dad,
years later.
First of all, Joe knew better than to let us have Mike's bachelor party at the JCs.
I think it was on him.
It's all on Joe.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. Why are you going to trust us, Joe?
And remember, the refrigerator was full of alcohol
Come
from one
on.
of their functions, and that
Come on.
the beer we brought didn't last long.
Yeah.
So but we did promise to restock it. So we got that
did
too.
we? Yeah.
No, we got to make good on that too.
I got to make some notes.
Okay. Find the guys in a truck. Pay back.
Find out who owned the biggest 4-wheel drive pickup truck in 1980.
Maybe 84.
Maybe four.
And buy a case of beer.
Here we go.
And then Galion called JC's. How much? Exactly how much was in that refrigerator?
The guys running the JCs right now are like half our age right now. They won't. They'll have well, I'll call Grandpa, see if he remembers renting that out to you guys. See if he can remember anybody.
Do you remember someone took the big bag of popcorn and stuffed it in the toilet?
No. Now that I don't remember. I don't.
Yeah.
Was that me?
It might have been.
That doesn't sound like me, but
No,
I
don't
can't
think
say,
that was you. I think that was one of Mike's brother's friends that came up from Columbus. The guy who had a sack out showing everybody. Remember that guy? The guy had a... Do you remember that?
He's playing Batwing. He was trying to Batwing everybody.
Do you remember that guy? That guy was a freak.
Yeah.
His sack hung down to his knees, and he wanted to show everybody. It's like, okay, dude, this is a bachelor party. Put that away.
If there was just one girl here, I'd go, okay.
Maybe
I
go
see
get-
what you're doing. Yeah.
Well, I don't understand that, Steve. Hey, check this guy out. Check this out. It's like, Steve, take him home and bring back his sister.
Yeah.
Or go get one of your sisters. And, but Steve, but this guy's going out showing everybody his nutsack. Why? I know. Oh, man. We need to make a note about that. Find Steve's buddy and kick his ass for making us all look at his sack.
Oh no, with that sack, he's long gone. He's been through the James Cancer Center program and all that.
And he was only like 25 then, and that thing was down to his knees.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah, there were some bad things going on there.
Wow.
Real bad. You know what? I just, I don't know, some people listening may have read one of my blogs recently that I put out about going to the gym.
That was your most recent one.
Like back in the day.
I think that was blog 25.
You used to go to the gym, man. We didn't have that. That wasn't, people try to make that sound normal now, that all these old guys are walking around naked, completely naked. They step out of the shower. They don't have their towel anywhere near them. They leave it at their locker, and they just walk around talking to people. Old guys.
Well, I don't know why. Why?
I don't know. And if you mention it to anybody, they're like, "Oh no, that's old Don. He does it all the time." And he comes right up to you while you're sitting down, puts one foot up on the bench, and he's got this pendulum there that's coming, and it's just swinging back and forth. And if he gets too excited,
I know, but here's the thing,
you're
Jimmy.
catching.
After it taps you like once or twice on the chin, I would think you would know better than to back up a little bit.
Yeah.
But you just kept leaning right into him.
Right. Yeah.
I was there. I seen it.
And I've learned you don't blow on them to stop them from swinging. You don't do that.
Do that touch.
No.
You don't touch.
No.
You really don't even want to make eye contact. You don't want to look at it.
No.
You just act like it's not happening. So you just mind your own business, keep getting dressed, and let that thing.
I truly think the thing that bothers me the most about that is people trying to make me believe that that's something that's been going on forever, and it's not. I've been to a lot of gyms.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I was younger.
Years ago, I was a member of the country club there in town.
Well, of course you were.
And it was only. I was a member. How long was I? I was a member there probably until the first payment was due. And then we couldn't see eye to eye on that. So, but anyways, that first couple of weeks that I was a member,
yeah,
guys were parading around, and it was our buddies' dads and grandpas, because the older guys hanging out at the country club, and they would parade around in there, and I'm like, yeah, that just wasn't right.
No, it's not.
So I never did make that first payment, and
do more ball handling than Titleist in the locker room. Not even get out to the greens.
I saw more shafts than the pro shop did.
I'm going to start calling you one up, man, because I can't. There's no way. I can't get you, man. You're the best. Still the best. Still the best, man. Do you remember when people were trying to talk us into going to New York?
Yes,
remember that?
I do.
They
remember
wanted us to try out for
I remember
Saturday Night Live.
I remember we were at a party. Someone was having a party. Their parents were out of town or whatever, and there was a high school party going on. We were just a couple years out of high school.
Yeah.
And we were at this party, and people, we had like
just falling out. Yeah.
We had
putting on a show.
We had like a little, they were like clapping and laughing and more.
Yeah.
And
we got dressed. Then we got dressed.
And we got dressed.
Things calmed way down. And
right. I got all the oil wiped off us. But remember, people were. Everywhere we went, people said, you guys need to go to Saturday Night Live.
You missed your calling. How many times have you heard that? You missed your calling, man. You missed your calling. You should be.
I still hear it to this day, even at work.
Yeah,
people.
Me too.
People say, how can someone be so quick? Or
yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm a funny person by any means.
But you are.
People, I can make people laugh.
Yeah.
It's harder when I'm dressed. It's easier to make someone laugh when I'm standing there naked.
In the locker room.
That is.
No, but I do remember those times, and I don't know about you. We never talked about it. I don't remember we ever talking about it, but I know me. I just couldn't pull the trigger. I just didn't have the self-esteem.
We should have started out small. We should have gone out to WGLX out there on North Market Street, out to the green mobile home, the double wide, and asked them for an hour of airtime once a week.
We didn't know. We had drinking to do.
We could have got who was Tony Reeves?
I don't know.
He was out there. He was. Yeah, we could have said, Tony, go eat. We'll cover. Give us an hour.
See, I didn't know we could do that. Now you tell me.
It's not too late.
And now look at us.
Yeah,
we're on the World Wide Web, man. You got fans in the UK right now. Did you know that?
No.
There's people listening to you right now. Well, if it were Saturday and I had this uploaded, they'd be listening to you in the UK. Yeah, for some reason we have a fan base in the UK. Yeah. I don't.
Who knew?
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, I mean, look at the studio. I mean, you ever put pictures of the studio?
We're putting it on. No, you know what? Not yet. I think we got a couple pictures here when we had.
How much more did you have to? How much more insurance did you have to get on this place?
Yeah.
Just to have for the studio you got down here.
Well, that's business stuff. I don't really.
Wow.
The most money went into the Stevie Ray Vaughan poster here to keep that insured. I mean, because look at that.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see where there's a lot of money there. No, I mean, bales of straw. They're not that. Those aren't too expensive, but
those are sound deadeners. That's what they are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't think of it like that.
Did you notice the clock? Now, this is a visual medium, so all of our listeners will enjoy me pointing things out in the studio to you. Mm-hmm. Did you notice the clock up there, the backwards running clock?
No, I did not.
Yeah, isn't that something?
That is weird.
I got that from...
try to tell the time.
I don't know if I got it
drunk looking at that, trying to tell the time.
Yeah.
What's with you and all the clocks around here? Is that you or is that
that's
the wife?
Hannah. Yeah, that's a Hannah thing. Yeah, she does the decorating. She loves the clocks.
How
many clocks? Seriously, how many clocks do you think you saw upstairs?
A dozen at least.
Yeah, no, at least in one room. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, there's how many do you got? You guys know?
No, I don't know. She just collects them, and
wow,
that's her thing.
There's some of them that were like antiques too. I mean, some of them were really nice.
Well, she doesn't have OCD like me, so that I think she does that. She has all those clocks to kind of keep me in check. That's kind of like my medication, because it used to be when she first started collecting them, Like if one was just a couple minutes off, man,
Well,
that's all I was thinking about all night.
Well, I know, but now you got like the times of the world up there. I mean, that's why I was asking, like, which one is the real time?
That's what I convinced myself.
I don't
With
know if
all the countries, how many countries are there? It's got to be that time somewhere.
I didn't know if I was early or late when I got here. All I knew is that I'd been on the road for a long time.
Yeah.
And I didn't know if, it was just getting dark.
Yeah.
I didn't know if maybe it was getting light.
Yeah.
Once I saw the clocks, I didn't know was this coming in the morning or are we going in the night?
And you got to meet the boys from the band upstairs, the Loaded Diapers. We were sharing
those guys.
We share some space with them in the studios.
Those guys are fabulous.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely want to come back out and see them again.
Yeah.
I know. I'll bring a clock.
House band. That's what you should have brought as a housewarming gift.
I will bring next time. I will bring a clock.
Just one around your neck. Who was that? Who wore that? Who did that? Flava Flav or one of those guys? Flava Flav.
I don't
remember he wore the clock around.
I remember that.
Yeah, I think that was him. I think that was Flav.
Carrot Top?
No, Carrot Top, man. Do you remember Carrot Top and Piscopo? They're like on steroids or something now. They're like huge. They're like world-class bodybuilder guys now.
I knew Piscopo was. I didn't know.
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
A bunch of people died this last weekend.
Oh, dude.
Glenn Fry.
Glenn Fry, man.
Yeah, man. Alan Rickman, man. Die Hard. Come on, man.
Been a lot.
Hans
of
Gruber. Hans Gruber on Die Hard.
Oh, okay.
That's who he was. Alan Rickman.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
What's the last movie you saw at the theater? E.T.
At the movie theater?
Yeah. On Golden Pond.
No,
Porky's. Officer and a Gentleman. Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Poltergeist.
It was
Chariots of Fire.
No. It was
Gandhi.
It was. I don't know. No. They normally don't put.
Really?
What was it? The old one that shows all the XXX movies. That's the last time. It was. I can't remember.
It was. What they did is they took the movie The Pianist, and they changed the name, but I can't remember what they changed it to. I just don't recall what they changed it to, but that's what I saw at the X-rated movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. Is that good?
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's a lot of vein. She had a lot of neck and a lot of vein in that one. I don't even know what that means. Well, guess what, man?
I'm going to Google that.
Guess what we did?
What we do?
An hour.
Seriously?
Can you believe it? Yeah.
It can't be already.
We're there.
We only took one break.
I know. We're fast talkers and we did everything right.
Oh man.
And somehow we're at the end. Anything you're plugging? Anything you're doing out there? Anything you care about? You want people to know? Any shout outs?
Not like, I mean, just
say hi to your wife at least.
Yes, I'd like to say hi to Robin.
There you go. I just saved you, man.
I was going to.
It's Saturday night. Okay, we're fast forwarding right now. It's Saturday night. You're sitting on your couch or in your Barco lounger or something, and she just now looked at you like, yeah, he saved your ass, white man.
No, she knows. Hi, baby. I love you. I hope I make it back home.
She's like, she's kind of like, and I don't know if we can mention the, I'd have to check with Cory on the legals, but we can't mention where she works, I don't think. Okay. I'm not sure. But she's kind of like my wife. My wife is kind of like her. She's a beautiful female, but there are some manly pursuits that she found herself into. My wife is an armorer. My wife is, she's been trained and Yeah, I mean, Robin, she's quite the hunter. Oh, yeah.
I mean, she went on, not last May, but the May before. May, it would have been 14. May of 14. 2014, she went up to British Columbia, shot 2 bear.
Really?
Yeah.
Like troopers? Like state troopers?
Yeah.
Those bears?
Yeah.
What? Wait, I'm going to go ahead and make another note here. We're going to make another call.
No. Within 3 days, she shot 2 bear.
Now, what do they have there? What type of bear do they have?
She was hunting black bear.
Okay.
Now, the second one she got, it had like a cinnamon colored coat. But
now, do they have black and brown there?
I'm sure they do, yeah.
Because that's where they start kind of mixing in there in that area, isn't it? Where they have both.
Could be.
Because the black bear, we actually have black bear in Ohio.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, they're the size of Rottweilers, but
Right.
We still have some black bear, but
These
the brown bear, these things will
She got
slap
both of
your
them
face
made into
off.
rugs.
Are you serious?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah, yeah. I'll send you a picture.
That's cool.
I'll send you a picture.
Please do. We'll post it on the website. No, we won't. Nobody cares about your rug. I'm sorry.
Oh. What about my beer can collection?
Tell them about it. Oh, can I tell one more story about beer cans? Or maybe you could tell it.
Go ahead.
Well, okay. I got invited for the first time. First time I got to, no, it's not the first time I met your parents, but it was the first big holiday
It was
event.
the first time they allowed you around the house.
Yes.
Around family.
Yes.
Yeah.
After the background check cleared.
Right.
Somehow.
Yeah.
I got to go to your family's residence for Christmas, right?
Christmas
it was
Eve.
Christmas.
It was
Yes.
Christmas Eve. Mom
yes,
had
it
her
was.
big Christmas Eve.
And your mom is one of those. Your mom is a what do you call it? A little bit of a fancy lady. Kind of everything in its place, everything like perfect and beautiful. I mean,
Well, her house is like a gift shop.
it was. It really, yes.
Yeah.
That's a perfect way to say
She's
it.
into the primitive collecting, all that primitive type stuff. And yeah, her house, it's like walking into one of these shops somewhere.
It is. That's true. And she had the
And her
Christmas tree.
trees,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I decide it would be a really good idea to, because you and I had without question, a couple cases of beer tucked away in a cooler somewhere away from the family.
Oh, yeah.
That we kept dipping into. And I'm sure it was the high class stuff, either the Natty Light or it was back at that time. Remember what was big? It was the, what they called the generics. Remember when we used to get Cost Cutter Light beer?
Kroger's Cost Cutter.
Cost Cutter
It was
Light.
a white can that said beer, and it had a pair of scissors on a dotted line going.
Yes, it did. And you could get a case of that. Realistic. I've told people this. They don't believe me. Couldn't we get a case of that for like $3.99?
It was dirt.
It was
cheap.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
but we used to fill up on that stuff. You would have to get anywhere, to get where you wanted to be.
Right. Natty Light was big, though. That was a big
did
one of
Natty
ours.
Light. We did that, but I think it was Natty Light cans we had that day. And I took it upon myself throughout the day to plant a few of those. Now, your mom had like her most beautiful tree
In that front living room.
one of a few in the front living room,
In the window.
Yeah, in this huge big window for all the traffic to see when they go by. So throughout the day, my empties didn't make it into the trash can; they made it into the tree throughout the day, facing the roadway in the window.
But you had them placed. I mean, they were nicely spaced out.
It was tasteful.
I thought so.
It was tasteful.
A couple of the neighbors that mentioned it to my mom.
Yeah.
Mom.
Yeah. Now we were gone. As usual, somehow we got away, skin of our teeth. We were down the road, but then you got to hear about it later.
Oh, yeah.
And Jim was never, I never went back there for a holiday. I'm going to call. So I was never if I did something that my table manners, I would imagine.
I'll have to ask Mom if you're allowed to come back around. You've served come on, you've been punished long enough.
Yeah, I've served.
It's kind of like Pete Rose. It's kind of like letting Pete Rose
back in. Are they going to do that? I saw somebody post that. Is that going to happen?
The Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame down there in Cincinnati, they are inducting him into the Reds Hall of Fame.
But they think that is going to open the doors to
hopefully
the big boy, Cooperstown.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
What he did on the field, he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame for.
Yeah.
I mean, he made some mistakes, but look at these other guys, repeat drug offenders,
yeah,
steroids,
dog fighters, yeah,
and they, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Pete deserves to be in there. That's my personal opinion.
Huh.
They'll probably wait till he dies and then they'll let him in. I think that would be wrong.
Me too.
That would be a shame.
Yeah, I agree. Well, if you don't have anything to push or anything to sell.
Well, not on the air, though. I mean, I got some stuff here I want to try to sell you.
Is that what that little bag is? That's what that smell is. All right.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Well, this has been Jim. This is still the B Team with Cory and Jim, with our first ever guest host, Whitey.
It's been a pleasure too.
He doesn't have his own show, so I can't send you to his website or anything. He doesn't sell anything.
Next time, if it's okay, next time Cory has another kid, if I could come back, Or if he takes another vacation, if he doesn't mind, I'd love to fill in again.
Awesome. We'd love to have you.
Actually, it might be even more fun if, like, when you take a vacation, maybe Cory and I can,
No, because you guys talk about me.
That could be a really good show, though.
That would be an excellent show, to be honest. I wish I was someone else talking about me, to be honest. Next time you're on, I want to talk about the whole Facebook phenomenon thing, because I'm kind of new to it, and it's amazing. I don't know what it means to get poked. So I want to talk to you about that. I got poked recently. Don't know what that means. I was doing some rapid fire. That friend, you can request friends and they send you things like people you might know.
Sure.
And so I think, they must know me. So I just go down through there and I'm just rapid firing. And I made a couple huge mistakes.
Oh yeah.
I hit a couple of those and I'm like, because it takes me a while to remember a lot of people, because I didn't keep in contact with them. Yeah. I didn't even keep contact with people in my class. But
a lot of times that's just if you have mutual friends, but yet you have no idea who that person is. You just have mutual friends.
Well, there's a couple of them that I found out later as I was going through that it says like friend request sent or something that I sent, and I'm like, I shouldn't.
Because your name kept popping up, and and
yours.
I kept blocking it.
Yeah.
Finally, I just gave in.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
And
that sounds right.
I don't know how you know what it's like to be poked. You know what that's all about.
Oh my goodness. All I ask you to do is love somebody.